Hi guys, welcome to Awoken's YouTube and our first ever video. I'm so excited and slightly nervous. So we are ready. We've got our teas, our information. We've got, where's Jay? Where's you? We can't do this without you. It's Awoken, which is both of us.
Need some tea.
So complete. Finally, I'm here and Jay's here.
This is our very first video where today we're going to be discussing how to develop your spirituality. So this is a topic that Lucky and I both get a lot of DMs about on Instagram, talking about ways to develop spirituality, how to become more connected, developing certain abilities, or just trying to figure out how to implement it, in your day-to-day life. So we've come up with 10 tips on some of the things that we have personally learned in our spiritual journeys on how to develop our spiritualities. So, number 1, develop a daily spiritual practice. So, as an example, my daily spiritual practice is to wake up every morning and do meditation for about 20 minutes. First thing, where my mind is quiet, I'm not worrying about cooking dinner, doing any washing, doing any work. I'm just thinking this is my quiet time, my quiet space time. Now, whenever we think of spirituality, everyone's like meditation, chakras, Buddha. Okay, chill.
Relax.
Chill.
As much as that's a part of it, there's other things as well.
Yeah, so you could do meditation. It could be yoga, it could be tai chi, it could be qigong, it could be breath work, it could be journaling, could be sound baths.
Yes.
You could give yourself one of those with a singing bowl every morning. Whatever it is that you feel called to do, just find your thing and then implement it every day or a part in your week where you can dedicate yourself to that, and then over time you'll see amazing results.
And for those who are just like, every day I haven't got the time, like, we're not asking you to put aside half an hour or an hour.
Don't lie, you've got
lie.
10 minutes.
You've got 10 minutes. So
go onto your Instagram app and see how much time you spend on Instagram. Yeah.
That's a good trick still. So literally, if it overwhelms you, if you just don't know what to do, then literally start where I did with 1 minute.
It's just one of those things where you need to apply yourself in order to supply yourself.
You want to say that again for the people over here?
Apply yourself to supply yourself.
That's what she said.
Right? So that brings us on to number 2, which is diet.
Ooh,
I know no one wants to hear this, but listen. Your diet is so key, okay? Key because it's not just about what you eat or what you drink, it's about everything. We're talking about what you consume. Staying on the subject of food, you are what you eat, you are what you drink. Everything that you consume has a vibration. And when it goes inside your body, it alters your vibration. So if you're eating something that is of low vibration, hamburgers. Just imagine it's junk food, right? I'm not calling anyone out. But imagine that that's what you eat. And that low vibration then lowers your vibration. So it messes with your mood. It messes with your ability to connect. So when you eat much high vibrational food and drink, it higher your vibration. It puts you in a better mood. It puts you in an overall high vibration so that you can connect, so that you can be in tune with your intuition, so that you can feel like you are almost just connected, fresh. You just feel clean. It's like that.
Even like conversations with friends, for example, or family members. Fair enough, like obviously you don't really say how does that affect my diet, but after a deep conversation or when you have an argument or a conflict with someone, what's the first things you do? What's one of the things that people often say? 1 minute, let me just digest that so I can understand, I can analyze what you've just said, because ultimately you are still taking on that person's emotional frequencies. They're projecting something out at you and aiming it at you, and you're receiving it regardless whether you want it or not. It's there, it's happening. So that's really your responsibility of the type of people you surround yourself with, and B, the type of conversations you're having. And it's the same with TV, whatever you watch, the music you listen to.
Music has a certain vibration, a certain frequency. The whole universe began by the sound of Om, okay? So
if you didn't know,
now
you know.
So whatever you listen to has a certain frequency that will affect yours. And listen to the words of songs. If you use a low vibrational word, if it's all negative, if you're talking about, you know, bitches, hoes and money, you think that that's not affecting you, because obviously you're not going to go out and listen to that artist and just be like, oh, I've just had this, I'm going to go fuck a bitch. It doesn't happen like that, no, but
it does give you some sense of ego out there.
If the music that you're listening to has a constant message, you are what you consume, and you cannot deny that. So you have to be very careful about the music, the TV, anything that you consume, because ultimately it affects your vibration. So no one's saying cut off bashment, cut off hip hop. No one's saying that. It just means be selective. And sometimes singing bowl, sometimes hand drum. Do you know what I mean? Like, find a balance that's healthy for you, because it does affect you.
So number 3 is tune into your intuition, listen to yourself. And the reason why we say that is because often, how many times have you been in a situation where you're being influenced and they're like, come on, let's go. And in your head, you're like, oh my God, I don't think this is a good idea. This isn't gonna work out. Someone's gonna end up getting hurt. But because of your friends, family, whoever it may be, this is just an example, influences you, you go, something happens, and then when it does happen, deep down you turn around and say, I knew it, I knew something was gonna happen, I knew this was a bad idea, you guys should have listened to me. But it's not their responsibility that they didn't listen to you, but it was your responsibility that you didn't listen to you.
The reason why following your intuition is so important to develop your spirituality is because your guidance is given to you by your intuition. We all like to deny it, that it's not there, but everyone feels it, right? We all feel the energy of a room, we all feel the vibe of that person. That's your intuition. Sometimes you just know something and you can't explain, right? And we have like our spirit teams, call it God, a higher power, angels, guides, whatever it is.
Whatever it is, it's different for everyone.
They don't necessarily come and speak English and just be like, yo, apply to that job. I need you to go to the shop so you can meet this guy named Mark. He's your life partner.
He's actually going to be your manager in the next life, so you know, be nice to him.
Exactly. It's more about them giving you messages through your gut feeling. Sometimes it could be through numbers, through feathers, whatever. But inside you have like this gut feeling, or just this little voice that is telling you to do something, or you might just know something, right? And when you tune into your intuition, that's like listening to your guidance from the divine. And when you listen to it, when you follow that, that's like you saying to the universe, I trust you, I believe you, I trust you, I believe you. Your angels are like, yeah, okay, we'll give you more guidance then. Because the more that you deny your intuition, the more that you deny the divine. And it's, you know, imagine like you tried to deny that your mother was there, she's trying to help you, and all the time you're just like, no.
She'll give up, she'll stop. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I like to do this test, like for example, for those who like, oh, intuition is real. So basically what I want you to do, I'm going to ask you a question right now and I need you to answer it, but I want you to answer it without moving your lips, i.e. in your head. So I'm going to ask you this question. What colour is grass? Did you say green? Whose was that voice? That little voice you heard? Who was it? Because it wasn't you, your mouth didn't move. That's your intuition. As much as you want to deny it, it is there.
We actually do have a blog online, so if you want to check out www.awoken-clothing.co.uk, we have a section on blogs, and we have a very detailed blog on what intuition is and how it works, how to develop it, so check it out. Number 4. So, healing work, developing your spirituality with healings. Now, going for healings can be things like Reiki, could be tarot, could be any type of like energy work, could be a sound bath, anything like that. But the reason for healing work is to energetically unblock parts of yourself, remove trauma, unblock chakras, right? Healing work is essential because imagine you're trying to get ahead in life and you've got this blockage here in your solar plexus, and it affects your will, and you're trying and you think to yourself, it just doesn't seem like it's gonna work, right? And then you get a bit of work done and all of a sudden this blockage has been cleared, and now it's much easier for you to be able to attract or create what it is that you want in your life, because you have now altered the vibration of your house. You know what I'm saying? Your house, your body. So now it's a much more positive environment for you to flourish. Does that make sense?
And once you have healed yourself, you're raising your vibration. So when you raise your vibration, you're also then attracting the same vibration of what it is that you desire. So let's say you want a new job. Your new job is up here, but if you're vibrating down here, how are you gonna get that job if you're not pushing yourself and becoming a higher frequency, unblocking yourself, healing yourself? Can do that, and I'm sure there's so many people that want. Another thing that we all also have in common is that everyone is broken. Everyone has trauma.
Wow!
Everyone.
Say it louder for the people in the back.
Everyone has traumas, and that doesn't make you a bad person. That doesn't make you a victim. That doesn't make you anything but you. And dealing with them and fighting your inner demons will make you become a stronger person. And when you become that stronger person, that's when, you know, the doors are really opening for you, because you've worked on yourself, and now it's almost like you deserve this business that you've been working on. You deserve this relationship because you've worked through the physical traumas that your exes brought you. You know, you no longer accept physical abuse, emotional abuse. You have set those boundaries, and now he walks into your life. Pretty freaking charming. You know what I mean?
And healing work, you know, it can be very much like hands-on healing, or sometimes it just has to be the work that you do here or here. But the whole point is, literally think of yourself like a car. You go and service your car, you clean your house. What about your energy? You can clean that, like I say, with hands-on, or it could be like every time you get home from work, say the shit out of yourself. Like Sandra, oh my gosh, chatting shit in the kitchen. I'm joking. But you know what I mean? A bit of sage, Palo Santo, Florida water, anything that you can do to help cleanse your aura. Even if it's a bath, you could put Himalayan salt in your bath, bit of Florida water in your bath as well, and that just helps to clean your energetic self, and it will just make a much better environment for you to thrive in. So that brings us nicely onto point number 5, which is all about shadow work. How to develop your spirituality, face your shadow.
Most definitely. So as I was saying, it's almost like, how are you being perceived in the present moment? How are you acting when someone gets you angry? What's your response when someone says something you don't agree with? Is it how you used to respond 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years ago? Or do you have now a new perspective on things? Like with me personally, I used to get angry very, very quickly and agitated to the point I would snap at people like, oh, can you just give me a second? Like, you know, creating this whole atmosphere for now that person to be in. And that was down to me, that was my choice, that was my responsibility. And a lot of the times I was just like, yeah, but you made me feel this way. And I would automatically put the blame onto somebody else without thinking, hold on, Max, your shit stinks also, you know, take responsibility. So it got to a point where I was just like, whoa, I'm actually angry, I'm actually projecting this energy. And in that moment, for a split second, I was like, I'm a bad person. But again, I soon acknowledged and learned that everyone is going through their own traumas and everyone's dealing with something. So either I can continue this way, or I can work on myself and become a better version of me. And that's what I chose to do, working on my shadow work and starting to acknowledge when I was angry, or how I acted, how I responded, how my body language was around certain people.
That's a great point, because with shadow work, it's really difficult because you kind of have to face yourself. It's almost like looking in the mirror and being like, where am I my own poison? Why did I let that happen? You know when like someone does something to you and you want to blame them, blame, it was you. When really, where were your boundaries? Why did you accept that? And sometimes you have to be like, okay, I accepted that behavior, why? Because I think that's what I deserve. Ooh, that's what I think. Okay, now I'm looking at my self-worth, I'm looking at my confidence. Where did that go? And then all of a sudden, you're 7 years old in a maths class and you remember that moment where the teacher put you down for getting the question wrong, and it literally starts there, and you can carry that stuff into your 20s, your 30s, until you're 70. But shadow work is the most key thing to developing your spirituality. It's the hardest, but it requires isolation, solitude. It requires honesty, brutal honesty, to the point where you got to ask yourself the same question 7 times.
Yeah,
Why? Where does this come from?
A lot of
gotta
understanding.
Exactly, where you're your own poison, but be compassionate to yourself.
And forgive yourself.
Forgive yourself.
A lot of people, like, once they do this shadow work, they're like, oh my God, I'm such a bad person. No, you're not. You are a product of
Your environment. You did the best with what you knew at the time.
100%.
And make peace with that.
Yeah. So, for example, there's a lot of people that are quite defensive, but that doesn't mean you're a bad person because you're defending yourself. That maybe means when you were younger, you know, things were taken from you and you had to stand your ground and you had to become defensive to protect yourself. But that doesn't mean in your later years you have to act the same way, because things change. It got to a point of, yeah, Lucky, this was the person you was, but here today, as you stand, this is no longer you. You know,
that's key. Your past does not define you.
No,
neither does your future, neither does your achievement. Nothing does. The shadow work is all about getting back to source, what you truly are. Point number 5 is to face your shadow. Do that soul searching, uncover any limiting beliefs, habits, patterns, understand where you're your own poison, look at other people for reflections of yourself, and decide what it is that you need to change to vibrate as highly as possible. So, point number 6. This is all about a physical self-care routine. So we talked before about a daily spiritual practice. This one is more about just your physical body. As we are beings of dual nature, we have to look after our spirits inside of us, but also our physical vessels. So as a self-care routine, this could be something really physical, like indulging in a nice bath, really feeling your body, like making sure that you shave. Ladies, if you want to shave and that's what makes you feel sexy. Could be doing your nails. For men, it could be getting groomed. Anything that makes you feel like your physical body is, you know, up to scratch for you, if that makes sense. So grooming is really important and a nice way to make you feel like, you know, you've taken care of yourself. But also it's about the products that you put on your physical body as well. I know when me and Lucky started our spiritual journeys, we really started to look at the products that we had, and our toothpaste change, our shower gels, our hair products, skin products, everything, and
nail varnish.
I don't even wear that anymore. That used to be my Sunday thing.
Yeah, same. Every Sunday, French manicure, like everything. But literally, turn your product around and read what is in them, and if not the majority, but there's a small percentage of chemicals within these products that in your later years will cause you issues in regards to your health and maybe how you physically look. Like I'm guessing your skin definitely after a few years will not look nice, I guess, with all those chemicals.
I mean, it affects many different people in different ways because everyone's so individual.
Yeah,
but there's you know, it's one of those things where if it's not good, it's just not good, right? So literally have a look in your, if you have like a drawer or a bag, and look at your products. Think about how you look after yourself or take care of your physical body, and really start to feel comfortable in your skin. Because as much as we want to vibrate higher, if our physical bodies aren't feeling like we're vibrating higher, if we're not like, you know, feeling fit or healthy or clean or groomed or whatever it is, then we're not going to vibrate that. So look into your drawers and look into your drawer. Look into your cupboards, look into your bags, whatever it is, and take a look at your shower gel. Like we used to use all kinds of different shower gels, you know, whatever's on offer. And now we're using black soap.
Yeah.
We switched our toothpaste from Colgate to Alodent, you know, anything like that that could be a healthy alternative.
Our cocoa butter and E45 to
coconut oil, shea butter.
And I think the way my mind frame is, if I can't physically put the product in my mouth, it's not going to touch my skin, because ultimately what you put on your skin, you are technically eating, because it will be absorbed within your cells and
Your skin is your largest organ, guys.
You know what I mean? So it's absorbed regardless. So yeah, you may not want to eat your moisturizer, but I know I can have a spoonful of coconut oil and I won't die or feel sick.
Yeah,
you know
use it for oil pulling.
Same way. So just put
Oil
things
pulling.
in perspective, and by all means, guys, we're not saying take what we're saying for gospel. We are giving you tools to go away and research yourself. Go have a look at your products.
It helps overall to develop your spirituality because all of these things raise your vibration.
100%, and that is what we need to do to create a collective consciousness. And when we're all there, we will be happier and we will defeat the bad
No, but
guys.
seriously,
Government.
it's real. So, number 7. So, set up an altar space. So, an altar is the place where spirit and matter meet. My altar personally has certain objects on there that hold a certain importance or hold a nice place in my heart. So, you could put something on your altar like a gift that has been given to you from a family member, maybe a family member that's passed. Things like candles, crystals, a bit of water for a thirsty ancestor. And this is basically the place that you come to intentionally connect with spirit. So this could be a place where you purposely go to meditate, purposely go to pray. It's almost like your sacred space.
Yeah.
So what's important when you have an altar is to make sure that as much as you have all of your important things on there, make sure that you have some protective tools as well. So that could be black crystals like tourmaline or obsidian, for example.
Or any symbolic.
Or symbols like an ankh.
Hamza,
or this.
the protection eye.
The evil eye. Anything like that, whatever your culture is or whatever you're drawn to, just to make sure that you've got no one prey in your space. Do you feel me?
You're not inviting unwanted
Yeah.
ancestors or unwanted spirits. But what we would recommend is wherever your space is, put it in a space where only you can go. A very, very private place. Personally, I don't like it when they touch anything on there because it's almost like, don't get me wrong, they're not a bad person, obviously they're friends, they're welcome in my home, but they always carry energy, and if they're upset that day and they pick up my crystal, they have now transferred that energy onto
Now I'm gonna
my...
fucking say some shit, you know? So put some meaningful objects on there, something that is special to you. Make sure that you're protecting your space, and just use it almost like a meeting point, you know? So treat it as like the sacred space is almost like your temple, the meeting point, the place where, like I said, spirit and matter meet, so that when you are asking for guidance, you can be in that space and be open to receiving because it's set up exactly for that intention. Number 8. Connect with like-minded people. Now, Lucky and I both know that especially when you're new to an awakening, it can feel so lonely.
100%.
It's almost like that scene in The Matrix, where he wakes up out of that eggshell and he's looking around and he's the only person that's awake. You just feel so lonely sometimes. So connecting with like-minded people is so key. Because sometimes you'll have experiences or questions that Google can't answer, or it will diagnose you with schizophrenia.
It's funny, but it's true. And I found like sometimes where I was developing, the current friend circle that I had they weren't interested in developing their spirituality. They weren't really interested in, seeing what the truth is about this world. Whereas I'm very curious, but they were happy in their 9 to 5. Yes, I am an Aquarius. Rebel with a cause. And you know what? The funny thing is, a lot of the time, I found more peace and found out more answers by myself than I ever did with certain people. And I'm not saying that these people are bad or I'm better than them, because I'm not. We just want different things, and that's okay in their world, and this is okay in my world. So one of the first people that I could connect with was this individual, this queen right here, Jay, where she's a Scorpio, so she will go to the depths of any book, any secret, to find the information and swim back up and be like, here,
Literally.
this is what I found in the underworld.
Wow,
so it's just like, well, damn, I didn't know that, Jay. And then, you know what I mean? And then with what we found, we educated others, and then when we we came across people that were very like-minded, meeting them at events.
It's great for support as well, because sometimes you really have to have those reality checks, and you got to think to yourself, oh my god, am I going crazy? Oh, you know what I mean? Oh, you thought that too, you know what I mean? And especially at the very beginning, you know, because your whole world is changing. So reach out to other people, ask questions to others. It's all well and good you reading books and whatever it is, but at the same time, it's just someone else's opinion, and there is no replacement for an actual person to help to guide you, to give you that wisdom. And it's not to say depend on that person, it's just sometimes use them, okay?
100%, and I think this is one of the reasons why me and Jay have created this movement, because there are so many people that are by themselves that don't know who to turn to. You know, they may come from a religious background, and they can't talk to their family or friends because everyone goes to the same church, and if you say you want to follow your spirituality, you may become demonic. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of people out there that are scared to be and connect with themselves. So we are offering this platform to say, hey, come on over here. We're not physically there, but we are a DM away, we're a comment away, we're a subscribe away. Just want to slide that in there. But yeah, so you know, you share your journey if you can, and if it's not personally, where you can speak to people, you know, right next to you. You know, your parents don't need to know that you've got an Instagram.
Literally, like we're so connected now.
100%.
Even if you see someone on Instagram and you're like, damn, I just wondered how they, you know, achieved that or went to that particular like ceremony that you always wanted to go to that could have spiritual context. Send a message, but reach out and connect with people, no matter whether it's in person, whether it's Instagram, social media. Just make the effort to reach out, because it will enrich your journey so much more.
Most definitely, and give you a different perspective. And you know what? A little bit of a push and a boost, because once you hear somebody else's story, you're like, well, if they can do it, so can I. And that is just what we need. Basically, we just need to empower each other to become better versions of ourselves.
Number 9. Connect with spirit. How to develop your spirituality? Connect with spirit.
And what is that I hear? What is spirit?
Spirit, the divine, God, higher power, angels, whatever you want to call it. It doesn't really need a name. It's whatever it is to you. And to connect with spirit, you can do that by obviously things like prayer, meditation, or something that I love to do is to speak out loud. Whenever I'm alone, whenever I'm in the car, a lot of times when I'm cooking, I'll just be chatting. And sometimes I could be like, yeah man, something happened today, and then I said this, but I don't really know how I feel about it, you know. Could you just give me some guidance on what that, you know what I mean? And I'm just literally chatting to them like they are my friends, and literally they are. Like, don't sit there and try to get this massive vocabulary like, oh, I would please, if you will, I'd like to speak to my angels. Like, no, they know you, don't try it. Just be like, you know, I need some help, man. If that's how you speak, that's how you speak.
You need to remember that these spirits, this energetic person, whoever it may be, angels, guardian angels, they've been with you since birth. Whether you want to believe it or not, there is a higher power that is always guiding you, that is protecting you. There's so many stories out there where someone's like, oh my god, I had a near-death experience, I could have died, but I don't know, at the last minute this other car, not my car, and saved my life. That is not a coincidence. It was just not your time to leave this earth. So when Jay says was she speaking out, it's because they're there, they're next to you, they exist.
Whenever you're born, right, you incarnate with like a spirit team. You have guides, you have angels, you have ancestors, you have a guardian angel, you know, and they're always around you, but you have free will, and they will never interrupt in your life unless you ask. So you literally have to be like, guide me to my next job for my highest and greatest good. You can't just sit there and be like, where?
Yeah.
You know, you have to say it, you have to invite them into your life, make a connection. Imagine your angels, your guides, or whoever you're trying to connect with is a real life person, and say that they're in like this physical. You would text your friend, you'd speak to your friend, you would maintain that relationship. You'd go out of your way to create that connection. So do so by prayer, by speaking out loud, by writing, anything that it is that you feel that is your tool, your thing to connect with them. But I would highly suggest and advise to just say it out loud, because your words are so powerful and they are always listening. So make sure that you make extra effort to develop your spirituality, to constantly connect with the spirit. And you don't always have to ask for things.
Initially, you need to build your own bridge to your higher power, because Jay can't build mine for me. It's going to require me to meditate, it requires me to speak out, it requires me to find ways that I can actually speak to them.
I know that there are traditions out there that have to contact or build a relationship with their ancestors before anything else. So it depends where you come from, but your guides, your angels, ancestors, they're all there for you to help you. You can even ask their names, you can ask for a sign to show that they're there. You have different guides. Say you've got Billy and you've got James. You want to know, is it Billy, is it James? Billy, left shoulder. James touches my ear. You know what I mean? Ask for signs like that, because they're not going to think in their minds like what to do. You have to literally say what it is that you want, so that they can make sure that you are comfortable with it and that it is accepted and invited and welcome. So ask for signs, ask for their names, and literally start building a relationship like you've just met the greatest person at this event and you want them in their life and to come around and cook dinner with them on Sunday.
Because you know what, as much as I'm sure there's a lot of people that will agree with us, and there's some people that may be skeptical, but unfortunately sometimes you are led to a place where you're by yourself, where you can't really turn to anyone, and if you don't have that connection with yourself, you're gonna then very quickly enter another cycle of despair, depression, anxiety, and when you know you have got your back, like you are capable of anything, because before you get the support from your friends and family, you need the support from yourself. It all starts with you, and developing that connection with spirit will bring that peace within yourself, that contentment, that fulfillment, because you don't need anyone else to make you feel happy, you don't need anyone else to make you feel loved, or I was going to say pleasured, but I'm sure a lot of you would take that the wrong way, and that's not what I'm trying to say. But connect with spirit. So that brings us on to our last point.
10. Spirit fingers. Spirit fingers.
Let's do this, which is a dream journal. So we actually have had a Wisdom Wednesdays based on dreams. It's not been recorded yet, soon come.
Dreams are really important messages. It's when spirit is trying to communicate with you through sometimes symbology, pictures, emotions, whatever it is that happened in your dream. It's almost like being in an altered state where you've gone to sleep, right? And you've tuned into this frequency now, and then spirit's like, oh, she's arrived. They're trying to communicate with you, and it's up to you to decode those dreams. Dreams are really not this thing that westernized society likes to depict as like this figment of your imagination that is useless. It's not. And
so powerful if you
so
know how
powerful.
to use it.
So try not to Google your dreams, because they're really personal. Okay, so if you do take the example of a tiger, if you do dream about that, you might go on the internet, I don't know what it says, but it could talk about, I don't know, courage. But in the dream, you felt a certain type of way. Maybe you were fascinated about the grace of this particular tiger, So whatever it personally means to you is the message. So pay attention to your emotions, how you feel, what you observe, what you actually remember, what sticks out to you. Write that down, and of course use books or Google to try and guide you, but don't take it just as fact, because imagine that your dream is really red, right? And you Google the color red and it talks about anger. When really, when you were there in that dream, you were like, okay, anger, right, cool. But red to me means passion.
Means love.
Yeah. So now you start to see that your spirit team, or the higher power, whatever you want to call it, they know you in here, not your ego, they know this. So that's why you have to really think about or just feel it out rather than Google it. And you'll come to find that documenting your dreams really helps your spiritual journey, because you're able to understand messages, or you're able to understand, I should say, the answers to your questions that you've been asking in the waking life, that are there answered, sometimes very philosophically, in your dream state. And they could be revelations, they could even be like ideas for art or for a business. They could show you the true colours of somebody.
Or just a confirmation, like you could be sat there saying, shall I go to this job, shall I take it, or shall I just stay where I am? And in that dream you could see the manager handing you a new contract and you feeling happy. But if you feel sad and accept the contract, take note of how you felt. So yeah, you've got the job and you've taken the contract, but it's not good for you. You're not going to be happy. It's not serving you your higher purpose. So how you feel, what's there, your interpretation, if it's lucid, all of this also comes into account when you're decoding your dream. If it doesn't resonate with you, don't make that the beginning anymore, because it's not. It's very much down to your intuition, but you know, your intuition doesn't have a search bar, you know, where you can just be like, thank you, you know, it doesn't exist. But yeah, that is literally the end of our 10 top tips of how to develop your spirituality. So I hope that it makes some changes for people, and I hope you can take and digest this. By all means, we have also said, look, this is our experience. So go out there, go on the internet, watch some more YouTubes, you know, get the information yourself as well. And if you have any questions, we are new here, so you can drop us a comment, subscribe, what else do they say?
Like, comment, subscribe, share, let us know your feelings down in the comments. If you've got any top 10 tips as well, or just a few tips anyway in general on things that have worked for you to develop your spirituality, let us know, let's share, let's create a community.
So for those who don't know, Wisdom Wednesdays will be on our channel every other Wednesday, different topic, and it's
7/11 Instagram Live,
and then we will put this version on YouTube, so it never leaves. You can always refer to it, and even if you know someone who's going through this, send them our link.